Hello, you wonderful, awakened, naughty little people who've awakened when other people haven't. How are you? Today I'm talking about this shift that I see that is incredible for me and so exciting, very exciting. And it's been a while since I've been excited. I'll tell you all about it on the other side. So today I watched a video, or I listened to it whilst I was running, of Candice Owen. And she was interviewing the man, the reporter, who went to find the astronauts who had supposedly walked on the moon. And he asked them to swear on the Bible that they had been on the moon. In both occasions, he got punched or kicked. Kicked and punched. Yeah. So he was talking about his experience. He was talking about the fact that really we've never, ever, ever gone to the moon. And Candice Owen, who has 3 million followers, who has a tremendous amount of views on her videos, was talking to him and pretty much agreeing and saying that she understood that there are so many holes in that story. It's incredible. And the guy was talking, a really nice guy, very personable, but very passionate about what he does, very passionate. And he was telling all the stories, etc. And he was showing the videos of the proof that it never happened, that it was faked, etc., etc. What was interesting was there was nothing that he said that I hadn't seen. I've seen all of that and a million more things. However, what I was aware of is that this subject, right, which is taboo, and it always has been taboo, is being talked about on what we might call mainstream alternative news. Right, that's what we've got. We've got this meat in the sandwich now. There are lots and lots of channels that are growing that you would say cover mainstream stuff, but in an alternative way. Like Candice Owen, I think she does a fantastic job. Hats off to her. And the same guy was interviewed on Joe Rogan, who is has the biggest reach ever. And I was thinking, how far we've come. How far we have come from where we were. If you think about it, before the pandemic, there wasn't a lot going on. The majority of the world was taken in by the pandemic. The majority of the world. Yet, all of those people, like a vast majority of them, have what we call buyer's remorse, that they have bought into something and then they have deeply regretted it. And what's happened is that we're just getting this explosion of alternative news networks that are starting to give the people what they want. And at the same time starting to educate those people who are just waking up to get the information that we've had for years. But I find it very exciting because it's something completely new, and given the way that the structure of the 2025 is going to be in terms of frequency and vibration, this is just the starting point. This is just the kickoff. The momentum is going to build, and this is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's going to be unstoppable. And I don't doubt at some point that the JFK stuff will be revealed. In fact, what I understand is that next year, the first half of the year is going to have a lot of revelations in it. That's going to make it very difficult for people. And it's going to create a lot of upset. And then the second half of the year, which I'm going to talk about in another video, is going to be the point where people are galvanized into action. But that first half is where I think for us, we're all going to be sitting here watching it, sucking on a lemon and, trying not to smile and say, well, told you so. I mean, we've had so many I told you so moments lately, but they're just getting bigger and bigger. And everything that was poo-pooed, I mean, there was a report that came out about all of the effects of the COVID and all of that, justifying every theory that we had Like everything that we said is justified in official reports now. So this is where we are. And the guy was saying about the moon landing, that he tried to give this information to the big networks and they wouldn't have it. And one of them said, I am not going to put this out on the network because it will create a revolution. There will be a revolution in the country. Why? Because the moon landing is one of the biggest events of the last century, if not the biggest, in terms of achievement, in terms of, going where no other man has gone before and all of that Star Trek-y stuff. For that to collapse is going to be massive. In fact, the guy was saying that some people who are awake cannot get their heads around that we didn't go to the moon. They can't accept it. And so I was asking the emissaries about that. Like, what's that about? That even if you're awake and you still can't accept it, even knowing that we've been fed so many lies and yet they can't accept that one. And the emissaries were saying, well, it's just because it's so big. Said, imagine in the landscape of your mind, you've got lots and lots of built buildings, really, of thought. And they said that something like the moon landing, certainly for Americans, is the biggest. It's the Empire State Building. It's the Twin Towers. It's enormous. They said for that to be knocked down is going to take a lot. And it's scary for people. It's going to take a lot. But they said that when it falls, and it will fall, it brings everything down with it, as we saw with the Twin Towers, because they brought down Building 7, didn't they? Without even touching it. There you are, these things happen. So that's what they're saying, is that they're going to fall, but they're going to destroy everything. Because when your biggest sort of belief that's linked to pride and patriotism and all of that, when that falls, where do you go from there? It puts into doubt everything. And so we've got this incredible situation that's happening that I'm watching, and I'm like that, sometimes thinking, wow, nothing new. All the stuff that comes out, we go, well, we knew that. P. Diddy, well, we knew what was going on. Moon landing, we knew. JFK, we knew. Blah, blah, blah. Pandemic, we knew. So we're not surprised by it. But I'm tremendously gratified that it's starting to come out. I'm gratified that people with a good voice, with a big voice, are starting to talk about it. Thank God. How wonderful. So what do you think? Do you think that you're seeing this momentum increasing, that so many people are talking about stuff? I certainly do. Anyway, that's all I've got to say on that matter. I love you all, and I'll speak to you all later. Bye-bye.